Praises to your name. Oh Lord, praises to your name. Oh Lord, for your name is great and greatly. Okay. So things are working now. I guess there's been some changes in the world of technology, and I'm going to make this quick because I'm running late. I had some issues with logging in to my computer. Then, for whatever reason, I had to revalidate my Microsoft. And what's going on here? All right, I guess that's okay. But I just want to quickly drop by here before I go back out into the world. We've already been up and down Red Arrow Highway this morning, scouting out the construction and the closed roads. That's a little bit loud, maybe. Let me turn it down. Maybe not. Kind of like it. Maybe I should just let it play. Okay. Well, let me get to this. So it's been busy. It's always busy in the life of a minister, especially by a vocational minister. So I'm going to speak to that in one sense, but not just to vocational ministers, but I'm going to speak to the thought of rationalization and compromise. So I was speaking to a young man yesterday, and he had some things going on, and I guess he had a couple business deals or something that happened at work, and he profited, but he was feeling a little bit guilty about it. So we talked about it for a little bit, and he told me what he'd done. And so I said, look, well, let me ask you a couple of questions. I said, first off, was what you did against company policy? He says, well, sort of. I said, now wait a minute, what is it or is it not? You know, it can't be sort of. He said, well, yes. And he says, okay, how about this? Is it against the law of the land? And he said, yes. So I was feeling a little bit awkward just for a moment. And I said, so then why are you asking me the question about whether what you did was right or wrong? And sat there quiet for a minute, and I opened up the Bible, and as I'm doing right now, and I went to Job. I had to hunt around for a little bit, but I went to Job chapter 27. Listen to this. In Job chapter 27, beginning in verse 3, it says, as long as I live life within me, my tongue will utter no deceit. Till I die, I will not deny my integrity. My conscience will not reproach me as long as I live. So as I read that passage from the Bible, I noticed in his Bible, he'd already circled and underlined it. And so I have to ask, had perhaps maybe he previously pondered this, even wrestled with the truth in this passage. I wondered, how is it that he could even consider the profound teaching and still ask whether what he was doing was wrong? And don't fret over the details, as far as just so you know, first off, he knew it was against company policy, and also it was against the law. And it's interesting how sometimes we try to rationalize things. So the answer lies in the fact that there are many believers who are committed to and immersed in and I'll say this, a cutthroat climate in the workplace and in a business environment. And I'm going to say we, because I just have to say, as I'm speaking to this young man, anytime I preach or teach, or I always have to reflect on myself. And but we get caught up in, sometimes we get the ability to rationalize and develop, I'll say maybe a way to sidestep the Bible's high standard, the high standard of integrity. And sometimes we're able to just simply get by living in the two worlds of the spiritual and the secular, as did the Old Testament Jews. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 41 said, while these people were worshiping the Lord, they were serving their idols. So again, I'm speaking to bivocational, but maybe not. Maybe I'm speaking to all Christians today, because in many senses we are bivocational, but here again, secular, sacred. Everything we do is supposed to bring glory to God. So the thing I think happens is that when we try to walk the fence, as some would call it, or perhaps maybe live life on two sides of the coin, by doing this, I spent a little time this morning thinking about this. We become something akin to maybe even making Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde look like a novice. You know, at the heart of the problem lies our stubborn refusal to allow Christ to be the Lord of our work, because we fear that if we abandon ourselves to biblical ethics, either perhaps maybe we won't be able to rise up to the competition, and we'll be overrun by competition, or maybe God won't provide for us at the standard to which we've become accustomed. See, the first fear centers on the carnal lack of faith. The second, on greed. Wow. Both are sin. So I'll walk away today with a thought. The thought is he the Lord? Or are we making him out to be something else? Are we worshiping our idols? I mean, this is something that I deal with on a daily basis. I'm going to work. I'm getting ready to go out the door when there's some things perhaps I might rather do. Of course, sometimes in ministries there's other things I'd rather go to work than some things in ministry. It's not sometimes easy. It's not all black and white. You know what I think? I think I need to lean on the fact that the Bible says there's safety in a multitude of counsel. So I'm going to call on someone. Just like this young man called on me, I'm going to call on someone. And I'm going to share some things. In other words, I'm going to share my weaknesses. I'm going to share my fault with someone who is in the faith, who knows me, who knows my circumstances, and will still speak the truth to me. Have a great day, my friends. Take this to the Lord in prayer, and take it out on the street out there. God bless.